All right, y'all. This is the live about the dream. I kind of went on a tangent in the last live. I kind of was just following the lead of the Holy Spirit. But in this live, this is gonna be the actual dream live. Okay. So the previous one was just me going into depth about, you know, Judgment Day and just wanting to make sure that you're not getting before the Lord and you're looking at a stranger. You should definitely be referencing God, but that day should feel like you're talking to your friend. Okay, so let me get into the dream. This is a two-part dream. I woke up. I went to sleep. Then, first of all, I went to sleep studying the book of Jeremiah. Then I went to sleep and I started having this crazy dream. And then I woke up, got up, I prayed, kind of canceled some stuff, whatever that I felt was, Then I went back to sleep, and then the dream continued. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into the dream. So in this dream, I'll give the interpretation after I release it, or after I give like the actual what happened in the dream. So in this dream, I was at this huge house, right? It was like a mansion looking house, right? And I go inside and there's just like all these different servants, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of glitz and glamour, I would call it that. So in this dream, there's a lot of glitz and glamour going on in this dream. And I'm just kind of amazed, like, oh my gosh, this is real. I came into, because in a dream, I could tell I was on guard. I was on guard in this dream, but I was kind of like, I was observing what was going on. So in the dream, there was a lot of glitz and glamour going on, a lot of stuff concerning like the industry, right? And they wanted to work with me. And I was like, okay, this is nice, I guess it's cool or whatever. So after I seen that encouraged me to get on the plane. And there was a particular artist who was driving this plane. Now this artist was driving this plane, and me and another artist were performing on this plane. It was like kind of it reminded me of like of we were singing like at a funeral or some type of event, not a funeral, but some type of like kind of grievous event, right? And and after this happened, so we're on a plane, and this is a private jet. This person is driving a private jet, and it was from the house that we were just at with the glitz and glamour. But they weren't flying it; they were driving it like it was a car. I'm just like, oh my god, like, is this legal? Like in my head, in the dream, I'm thinking like, is this legal? Like, are we really able to drive? Excuse me. Are we able to drive a private jet on the street like this? Like just driving it like a car? I'm like, well, I guess she's able to do it. So then I started hearing sounds in the private jet, like almost like it was breaking down, or maybe running out of gas. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we gonna do? So after the glitz and glamour portion, I woke up. Then I started praying. Then I went back to sleep. And then this is the second part where I'm driving. Well, no, not I'm driving, but somebody's driving. We're on this plane. Me and this other artist are working together. We're singing, whatever, and we're going from there. Then the woman is driving the private jet or whatever, and then she pulls over next to a cornfield with like it looked like a maze. In the dream, it looked like a maze, and it was very far. Like the house that we were just at was very far. So I'm thinking maybe she's gonna pull over, and she says, I'll be right back and I'm gonna go get help. And she ran off. She ran off by herself. I'm just like, that's not safe, because this is a very famous person. This is not safe for her to be running in a corn maze by herself. Like, what? Like, girl, you need security, because you don't know who's there, And so she just ran to this cornfield. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, well, we have to go. We can't just let her go by herself, right? We gotta go after her, which is probably something I would never say. But, for the dream's sake, we're gonna keep going. Good morning, y'all. I'm sorry, did I say good morning? Good morning, everybody. So after that, me and some of the people that was on the plane, and these actually were some familiar faces. Some people that were on a plane, we're like, oh my gosh, how do we go after that? I said, I'm not gonna run nowhere and get lost. No. So I was like, um, so then when as soon as I said it, I seen a horse riding by, and the horse, I'm like, oh my God, there's a horse, and the horse wouldn't go to nobody, but I knelt down and I called for the horse, and I just was gentle with the horse, and the horse ran over to me in the dream, and I just rubbed the horse like, okay, good horsey, be gentle, because I was afraid the horse was gonna kick me, because horses, they're really strong legs, so but I knelt down anyway, and I rubbed the horse, and I said, hey, I basically was talking to the horse, I was being nice to the horse. And the horse let me get on top of him so I could ride him. And so I'm like, okay, guys, I got a horse. So now we can get to her faster, and we have a way out just in case anything happens, that's not supposed to happen. We got a horse that we can get away faster. All right, so now I'm on top of this horse, and I'm looking over the cornfield because I have a higher view now, and I can see that the house that's at the end of the cornfield is not too far, and we just have to follow the trail. So we follow the trail all the way to the house. I'm on the back of the horse. We follow. It's funny that your name is Ryder and you're in here talking, and I'm talking about a horse. That's confirmation. Anyway, I'm riding this horse, and now it's getting dark. Okay, so this person has been gone. They did not come back for us. We were kind of left out there in the dark with this private jet that we did not know how to drive. Okay, y'all. And she still had to pay us. She did not pay us yet for this event. All right. So we followed behind her to go find her and make sure she was okay, and make sure that everything was cool. And we knew that she was at the house. She was at the house that she was previously at. And so once we get to the house, it's dark outside, y'all. It's dark. And we get to the house, and all the glitz and glamour and all the stuff, that's gone, y'all. It's gone. And I immediately in my spirit, I'm like, they tried to deceive us. Like, they're trying to paint a picture, right? I'm like, something's going on. Like, I just felt off in the dream. And I knew that I wasn't comfortable. And then I see the girl other artist who was driving, she's sitting in a chair smiling. Like, yes, we got them here. And I'm like, okay, well, we didn't get paid yet, or whatever. And it was a white man with glasses. And it looked like a scene out of a movie, y'all. The house was so vacant. There were the servants, the glitz, the glimmer, all the stuff that was once there. It was gone, y'all. It was gone. It was gone. I'm like, but if if this is really the lifestyle that you're living like that, why is that? They were all gone. And the guy starts trying to get us to sign stuff, but I realized that he didn't want this person. It was another guy that was supposed to sign something. He didn't want this person to sign. He wanted this person to sign something just so he can get their signature. Not so that he could pay them, but so he can get the signature. So he told the person, he says, basically, I want you to take out $477,000 out the bank. And so I'm guessing he was writing a check to him, right? And to me, I'm just like, why is he telling him to take out this amount of money? Why is he trusting him to take out this amount of money in the bank? So I'm like, this is getting suspicious, right? I'm like, but there was a Caucasian man that signs. The guy takes the clipboard and he signs the corner. He signs the corner of the contract. He don't sign on the line, but he signs the corner of the contract. And I'm immediately, and the thing is, God gave me a point of view where I could see what was happening. And I'm just like, I would not sign that. This isn't it. And he didn't sign his name. He signed your past and something. That's all I can remember. And then this particular person, like, after he signs it, underneath that, the guy here protect the clipboard say, oh, thank you. But right before he took the clipboard, I seen on another paper the word fraud. The word fraud was underneath where he signed. And the guy, I just remember being like, oh my gosh, like, this is going to be so bad. Like, this isn't it. And then the scene switches from, this another artist who has a big family and a lot of brothers and sisters. She's the oldest. And basically that it was going to come out of her account or something like that. And it was just a whole bunch of a whole bunch of like just taking advantage of people. So let me give the breakdown, okay? Let me give the breakdown. And then basically, long story short, this the girl started seeing stuff come out of her account. The girl started seeing stuff come out of her account, right? Like garnishing, like she started getting garnished for some stuff, and it wasn't her fault. They set her up for that. Okay, so let's break this dream down. Okay, so the first dream I have was the glitz and glimmer. So this was the pulling effect, right? There may be someone or somebody's who want to work with you. They want access to you. They want access to your giftings. They want access to what God has given you. They want access. Now, this is not everybody, okay? God is going to bring some genuine opportunities. You have to be very prayerful. I don't take every opportunity that comes my way. And it's not because I'm trying to be bougie or I just think that, no. I'm very intentional about who I connect to because I feel like that matters, right? Now, I'm going to work with people, right? And I know that, and I know, well, no one to say that. I have prophetic words about my, things that God is going to do in my life and who I'm going to do it with, right? So I have a vision. I already have like word from God about what that stance is supposed to look like. I'm trying to, without giving information, what that stance is supposed to look like. So anyway, after that happened or whatever, I go to, let's get to the first part, the glitz and glimmer. So they're clearly put on a show. They wanted to build a sense of trust with because the first part of the dream, the person who they were doing it to kept switching. Okay, so God was showing me that this has been done to multiple people before, or that somebody's trying to do this to multiple people. So in this dream, the glitz and glamour, all the good stuff, that builds the trust for to bring this person into covenant or into trusting them enough to get in the car with them. Right now, this car was a private jet, so it was quote unquote nice. But then the private jet started breaking down, right? So then the private jet's breaking down, and everybody's just like, what's going on? And then she pulled over to this cornfield, a maze. So represents like throwing somebody off, like confusion, trying to create confusion, and keep in mind, this person ran off smiling, and they did not pay nobody that was involved with this particular event. So this person was trying to get away. They were making it seem like they were in a distressful situation, and which felt planned, because it felt planned, like she already knew what she was going to do, right? So this was planned. This entire situation was planned, okay? So after this happens, she runs like of course into the field, and like now they're worried that they're gonna go after her. So we get the horse, right? It represents provision, represents God's provision, right? Didn't know how we were gonna get to the house. The horse just pulls up. The horse is kind and gentle, and it didn't hit me like I thought it was gonna do. We get on the back of the horse, all of us, we go, and we get to her, and we leave three people in the plane. All right, those people stayed behind. And we went to the house. We get to the house, the glitz and glamour, all that stuff is gone. It's like the house has been stripped. And then there's just this contract. There's this contract that he wants everybody to sign. And I'm already in my head, I'm not signing nothing. Yeah, I'm not signing anything. I'm not, just don't even feel right. Right? And after this happens, one person does sign. And after that person signs, of course, he looks at the paper. I see the words fraud, and I see that they put something underneath his pen to make so that they can see how his what's the name looks, how his signature looks, so they can use it for stuff and do fraud with it. Okay, so that represents just you getting contracts, right? But you don't want the wrong contracts. God is telling you to be careful where you sign your name. Be careful who you connect to in this season. Be careful. There's going to be a lot of opportunity coming. Like I said, it was a lot of opportunities in this dream, right? But you don't want to take the wrong opportunities. You want to be led by the Holy Spirit on who you connect to, what you connect to, because your gifts are making room for you. Doors are opening concerning stuff with your gift, but you don't want to just work with anybody. You want to use wisdom. You want to be prayerful. Like, Lord, am I supposed to sign this contract? Lord, do I need to look further into this contract? Lord, am I supposed to work with this person? Lord, because I don't want to make the wrong mistake, and then get into legal stuff. So right, so then fast forward, there's another girl who also had signed, and so now her check was getting garnished, and she got in trouble with the IRS. So basically, it was setting her up for fraud. It was setting her up for for something, right, that was not of God. And immediately I send the words deception. Like, I'm like, this is a deception. Like, this feels like Joshua. Like, this person was supposed to overtake, but they were basically trying to set up a contract with them to set them up for fraud, to get them in trouble. So there'll be some people that are trying to set you up, like, because of what God is doing in your life. So they want to connect with you, not for the right reasons, but because they want to set you up. They want to deceive you. They want to set you up for something. You're going to have to be very prayerful, y'all. Oh my gosh. This is why God says pray without ceasing, because you need direction from God. You need him to show you which way to go, who to connect to, because people will set you up. And I've noticed that in the industry, especially, that they do that kind of stuff. They do that kind of stuff. Should they be doing that kind of stuff? That's on them. Well, between them and the Lord. But it's wrong, right? It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And keep in mind, this person did not pay this person. This person was trying to get them to take out a large amount of money, way more than what they were supposed to get paid, right? Which would get them in trouble for fraud. Okay? So this was a set up. So what is God saying? Don't sign your name to anything without consulting him. And pray that God, and something, I pray for myself as well, that God will send me Christian lawyers, people, not even people that I can trust, people that I can trust to look over contracts, people that I can trust that will tell me what's going on legally, so I don't find myself in a contract that I'm not supposed to be signed to. Don't listen, take everything with a grain of salt. It's okay to say, hey, I'm grateful for this opportunity. May I take this contract and think over it for maybe 2 weeks, please, and get back to you in 2 weeks? Because guess what? If they see you as valuable and they respect you, and they respect you as a person, not just your talent, but they respect you as a person, guess what? It's not going to be a problem. And then you can take that contract and you can go get it looked at by a lawyer. Okay? You just be very careful, y'all, what you sign your name to. And just if a deal seems too good to be true, like I said, it seems too good to be true that this person was telling them to take out $477,000. No, that was fraud. They were trying to get this person in trouble. So this person started getting garnished. They started getting garnished, right? They started going under warfare, right? Legal warfare because of what they had got into. So just be wise on how you handle certain things. Just because it's glitz and glamour is not all what it seems, okay? In the industry especially, there can be a lot of smokes and mirrors, okay? And you don't want to get caught up in the glamour of the lifestyle or wherever God has called you to. You don't want to get caught up in the glamour, the glitz and glamour, that you don't use wisdom, that you don't pray and use your discernment. And remember, there were penalties for making this bad decision. So these decisions that you make, especially in this sensitive time where God is opening doors and things are happening for you, there will be consequences to making the wrong decision. So what you have to do is you have to be prayerful. Okay? You have to be prayerful so that God can show you. Don't just sign your name to anything. Listen, even if I do get contracts to work with other countries or to do stuff in the music industry, I'm not going to just sign my name to anything. No, let me see the contract. I want to look over the paperwork. I need about 2 weeks. I'm going to get a lawyer. I'm going to look over these paperwork. I'm going to make notes. I'm going to sit down for maybe 2 or 3 hours with somebody so they can legally tell me what's happening in this contract, so I don't do anything I'm not supposed to do or sign my name to something I'm not supposed to sign. I'm not thirsty for opportunity. Opportunity is thirsty for me. I'm going to say it again. I'm not thirsty for the opportunity. Opportunity is thirsty for me. You have God on your side. You don't have to feel fear or pressure to sign something. There now, don't get me wrong. There's some things that God will be like, hurry up and sign. Like, this is a good thing. This is a window. Sign with this, or sign with these people. But then there's things where God would be like, no, daughter, don't do this yet. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? And then honestly, you can tell when something ain't right when somebody get mad, because you know what I'm saying. Like, you just gotta take your time. Take your time, trust God, and you want to work with people who are assigned to you. And guess what? It might not be a huge label. It might be it might be a team of people that are just, they have the heart of God. They have the integrity. They have the integrity of a righteous person. You know what I'm saying? Don't just sign yourself to anything, y'all. Don't make a covenant with just anybody. And what God is reminding me of concerning this dream is the story of Joshua and the Gideonites. How they pretended to be something that they weren't. They pretended to be from a distant land. But they were closer, and they made a covenant with these people, not realizing that these people were a part of the land that God told them to destroy. And so now Joshua had to leave them alive because he made a covenant with them before consulting the Lord. They didn't consult the Lord. So he made a covenant with them, not realizing that, oh my gosh, I just made a covenant with somebody that God told me to destroy. And then that came back to bite them later on, further down the line, right? There were consequences for them not consulting the Lord. There will be consequences, y'all. This is a warning. Do not sign to everything that comes your way. Don't just, oh my gosh. No, be at peace. Trust the Lord. Consult the Lord this season. There are going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of things happening, but you're going to have to consult the Lord. You're going to have to consult the Lord, because guess what? You don't want to sign your name to something and end up in something that is not of God. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, because now there are places that that are compromised. There are places in you that are compromised. So with that being said, there you go. Just be prayerful, be careful, and make sure you're seeking God on whatever you're doing, okay? Because you don't want to end up in a situation where like you are not supposed to be in, okay? And God will show you. He desires to show you. Ask him for time, and the Holy Spirit will speak to you about whatever is going on. He will give you confirmation. God doesn't desire that you be connected to something, and God doesn't, that you're not supposed to be connected to, and God also doesn't desire that you miss out on anything. So let me tell you something. You can say, hey, I need a week, or I need 2 weeks to just kind of process everything, to kind of just read my contract, and it's like, is that okay? And that should be okay. That should be okay. So with that being said, I love you guys. Bye.